Hey guys, how are you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening update. So we will go straight over to those charts. So yeah, the 4-hour time frame first. Yeah, you can see we got that move up. We broke through the trend line. We got up to this 9,400, 9,000 on that 500 area. It is currently holding back the price at present. But it's not really it's not obviously holding the price too much at the moment, and we do need a couple more candles for it to be resisted here before we'll potentially see a coming back test of this trend line. I was expecting it just to break straight through this and keep going, but in all fairness, we're looking at a 4-hour time frame, so if within the next couple of candles we don't really go much lower and we start to move upwards and keep pumping, then that pretty much for me is about the same thing that I was kind of looking at. So yeah, that's kind of my view here. The longer we stay here and we don't move up, obviously the easier it is for the bears to come in and basically sell this level, obviously with stops just above it, and push us down at least to a back test and then just buy again. Seems a pretty viable option, but you don't want to be selling straight into this move. As it is at the moment, not who, not anybody. No one really wants to be selling into what is just lining up to look like a bull flag at present. Obviously, if we stay up here, if we lose the 9,400 level, start to trade back down towards, well, mid 9,300s, then yeah, I believe we'll at least get a back test of the trend line. If not an actual back test of the 9,200 level, and then yeah, if we do stay in this range for a while, and we don't get the break up through this 9,500, I mean ultimately we could end up coming down around here in about 4 or 5 days, and then basically the top of the trend line will actually coincide with this 9,200 support, but I don't think that is the most likely option. I do think we're just getting held up here and temporarily, and then I think we will actually march on upwards towards 9,700. Yeah, so obviously it's difficult to manage risk to the downside here. Manage risk to the upside if you're buying here, because obviously we could see a move pretty much even down to 9,200. But obviously if you are selling, you only really need to have your stops probably a little bit above this wick, yeah, targeting either the back test of the trend line or a back test of the resistance here, or even a back test of both if it comes around at this time. But yeah, like I said, it isn't the preferred option. There is a measured move of basically where we'd expect to get if we break out of this descending channel, and that is well, it's round about here, which is basically the top of where the channel started, so that is 10,000. So this is why I don't expect us to really get held up here. Maybe we'll have some more significant resistance around this 9,700, 9,800 level. We will probably play around this zone for a little bit, if we are going to get held up, yeah, before breaking up to 10k. But that is kind of what I'm expecting here. That is kind of what I'm expecting. We'll have a look at what the Stokes are doing. 4 hours obviously turned back up again now. This is what we want to see. It's got room to run now. It's got room to run well into this very bullish territory here. So yeah, if it does that, that's obviously going to get us. That is gonna get us basically, well, certainly through this resistance, and yeah, probably heading up to around the 9,700 area. And if we want to look at the 12-hour Stokes also, they're looking pretty good too. Probably got maybe another day and a half before this then has to cool off in much the same way we saw the 4-hour Stokes cool off. But that is plenty of time to basically get us up to this resistance here, and then I wouldn't be surprised if we spend a bit of time, sorry guys, I'm tired again, spend a bit of time in this range here, in this 9,500 to say 9,800-ish range, just playing out this zone before eventually moving up. That's what I would basically expect, because I think this measured move is likely to get hit. Obviously that's assuming we get above 9,500 and hold. I mean, if we don't and we start to look weaker, I mean, this will start to look like a bit of a fake out of the trend, out of the channel. In which case we'll actually be looking for a move pretty much down to the bottom of the channel, around this level, which would also be this 8,600 support. So that's what's at stake, I believe, here. Is getting through this 9,500. If we don't have the strength to get through here, which for the record I think we do, then yeah, I think we'll drop back into this channel, then drop to the bottom of the channel to this support. And I have been saying I don't think that is the worst thing, really. I don't think that is the worst thing. We'll be able to pick up some cheap coins if that does happen. But yeah, but like I said, I don't think that's going to happen. But obviously, if we do enter this trend line again, and then obviously lose 9,200, it'll be pretty obvious that we are coming down here. In my view, at least. In my view, at least, yeah. But so what I do think, though, I think we have got the strength to get up. If we go to the daily Stokes 2, they are obviously we are basically testing this trend line now, and it's going to take a lot to turn these over where we are now. So this daily has a long way to run, if you look at how far, like the 4 hour, the 8 hour and the 4 hour, the 4 hour and the 12 hour are. Daily's got a long way to run, so we have potentially got a good run up here, and then obviously the weekly and the 5 day. Larger ones are turning down, but if this I mean this 5 day, we've got a trend line here, and if we turn up on the 5 day, I think that will been quite close to a weekly. I think that would obviously just in the number of days it is, I think that would be a good indication that that we don't really have to pay as much attention to this weekly, and it will potentially turn back up. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm that's kind of my views here, kind of what I'm thinking. On a weekly here, yeah, we'll have a look at the weekly. See, we are putting in one of these nice green candles at the moment on the weekly. I know it's early days in this week. It's Wednesday, isn't it? It's only Wednesday. So yeah, some nice green candles. Or is it Tuesday? 1 second. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Yeah, putting some nice green candles. So yeah, I mean, this really is an important level. If you look at the weekly, this the tops of these closers, closes and opens, the top of these candle bodies, basically around 9,700. If we do get above that, that's why I think this area will be where we potentially play out this zone a little bit before getting the momentum to bust higher. But I think yeah, I mean, you can see it more clearly on the weekly how important this level is. So yeah, but once we get through that, if we close a weekly candle anywhere above this zone, it does start to look incredibly bullish to the point that, I mean, I think in like 1 to 2 weeks we will be up here basically, playing out this zone, and everything will literally be going wild. And we already know things are going wild in the altcoin market, not just Dogecoin, which is obviously getting pumped on TikTok. It's getting, a lot of altcoins are having some major moves, so that is indicative of a broadening of the rally, more confidence in this rally, in this crypto rally, in Bitcoin. And yeah, people are hunting for things to pump, basically. There's obviously a lot of hot cash at the moment that's been ran by teenagers, that is jumping from Carnival Cruises to Tesla to Nikola, to Dogecoin, to what else has been pumping? The DeFi alts. I don't think they're getting to those. I don't think they're smart enough for that yet. But they will be. They will come across it. But yeah, moving into Dogecoin moving is interesting because that puts in a foundation for a big move in a lot of smaller alts, because Dogecoin's main purpose is liquidity for some smaller alts and some smaller exchanges. So what would happen is that I would expect if we get a massive run in Dogecoin, they will start to diversify from that Dogecoin into some of those smaller alts on those Dogecoin exchanges. And we could start to see just some absolute insane craziness go on. And bearing in mind, these people are happy to buy bankrupt stocks, buy things that are basically worthless. You just have to bear that in mind. And then they're also happy to pay ridiculous prices for other things that aren't worthless, but maybe not worth the ridiculous prices. So basically, these guys are insane. But what these guys are, they are just a weight of money. And they're a weight of capital and a weight of funds that's just going to slosh around into in and out of various assets, and it's going to get telegraphed. Their moves get telegraphed via their forums, their forums and their socials and their platforms, and so we can keep an eye on those. Even this massive 50%, 50 plus. I mean, it's way more than that now. This is just a 24-hour pump. I mean, I think it did get up to about 80, but what is it at now? Just refreshing. It's been a bit slow here. Either way, we're going to count it at 60 if you don't hurry up. We are just going to move. We're going to move on. You got your last chance. Yeah, 58. So even before we had this last 24-hour 58% pump, Dogecoin was on the move. And we knew they were talking about it. We knew it was getting pumped, so there was ample opportunity to jump on the back of that. So yeah, it'll be interesting times, just put it that way. If we can get some of that that hot money, those capital flows, those people in crypto, I would hope we can obviously jump on those trends and just be pretty nimble on our capital allocation feet, and yeah, there could be some massive opportunities really. So yeah, I think we are going to have a summer of basically pumping everything, a summer of basically people with just capital, just spare time. They're getting into this. A lot of people are getting into trading. They're going to look for other markets, other things to trade, other things to pump, other just things to do. And yeah, I think it's going to be a long summer of not really a lot of jobs around, not really a lot of much else to do. And yeah, up until we get to around the November time and things start to get a bit shaky, when I still can't see it. I can't see it happening, but I just can't see Bernie being the actual nominee at the end when it comes down to it, because I don't know. I just can't see it basically. We're not obviously going to get political. I just can't see it. He's not all his faculties aren't there, are they basically? So it's going to get interesting because I was of the mind that it did seem like Trump was going to get propped up and win just because he's good for the global, he's better for the global elites. He's the lesser of two evils as far as they're concerned, and they prop up everything and control the narratives. But yeah, I think it will get a bit more uncertain as we get into the actual elections. People will get jittery, and I think downside volatility will come back. And then that'll be the time for us to basically get liquid again, just get back into whatever safe havens, probably even precious. I mean, there will be other assets to jump into like precious metals and things. So and then obviously cash. Then cash may not be so much trash at that point. But yeah, so yeah, they're my thoughts. They're my thoughts of what's going on. Again, I've shown you this before. We're on a weekly here. Look, it's sort of like you can see the peak, you can see the peaks, you can see the peaks, and this is different, isn't it? We can see this different behavior, and it is pretty clear on this weekly time frame. If we take out this 9,700 level, and we close anything weekly in this zone, anything weekly, well, as long as it's a weekly candle, but close in this zone on a weekly candle, I think that'll be it. That will be it. That will be, however you want to draw this trend line, fully broken on a weekly time frame. And yeah, we just will be up and away, and I'm telling you now, we'll be at 20k Bitcoin before November if that happens, because things can get pumped pretty well, as we've seen in these crazy markets. So over to Nascoin. Nascoin, look, doesn't want to, I mean, this is an ascending channel, and you don't have to break out the bottom of an ascending channel. You can break up out of an ascending channel, and so don't rule out the insane possibility of an absolute proper crack up boom. I mean, you just got to look at what gold's doing. Gold is making its moves. Oh, it's making its moves. Look, here's that 4 hour. I was telling you guys in this morning's video, I was looking at basically well, I was looking at 1833, but yeah, 1830 it tapped out at, coming upon this 409. Obviously we had a pretty powerful move, so people were obviously front running the sell level, which was basically 1833, and based on Fibonacci's that I was looking at in some other analysis. But yeah, people front ran that, sold that, front ran the 409, and yeah, had a bit of weakness. But yeah, 1830 was the level for me. 1830, 1830, 1833. Yeah, obviously front ran. So yeah, but just look, I mean, it's going to the moon. Also silver. Why can't I see silver? Oh, here we go. Also silver, you can see having a massive run. Silver actually on its 4-hour-9 now, so realistically, we have a horizontal in here. Where's this coming from? Yeah, we have a horizontal already, so which is going to coincide with basically the bottom of this 9 candle. So yeah, this silver will actually be a good sell for a short-term correction here. But anyway, we digressed. Basically, everything is going up. Everything's going up. Everything's going up. Bitcoin has been a laggard. Crypto, well, I mean, I can't say crypto as a whole have been a laggard, because you can't have coins like even like Cardano, even Ethereum's been strong as well. We can't really say that crypto's been lagging behind, because on the whole it has actually been going to the moon. And just look at some of the DeFi coins as well. It's just the Bitcoin king himself. But obviously a lot of Bitcoin is getting sold and pumped into alts, so that is going to have a little bit of pressure on the Bitcoin. Yeah, but that's kind of good in a way, because yeah, when Bitcoin does break through and start to go to the moon, I don't know how much I expect money to come out of alts and then flood back into Bitcoin. What I would actually expect is new money to flood into Bitcoin, and leverage money to flow into Bitcoin, and the money then still to stay in alts, and even more money come out of Bitcoin into alts. Kind of what I'd expect. So anyway, this video has gone on for way too long, hasn't it now? 17 minutes. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, they're just some thoughts I've got. Looking bullish for everything. Looking bullish for everything that isn't basically US dollar. Or any other fiat. I don't know why I said US dollar. US dollar is probably the best currency out of all of them, really. But yeah, people are basically dumping all currencies at different rates next to each other, so they're just doing some wild things. But those things that they're doing are basically going down against other more tangible assets. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting 3 months. So let's literally try and make hay whilst the sun shines, because things get a bit wild come November, to say the least. But anyway, so yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Remember, it's not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I will speak to you guys in the morning.